As you probably guessed from the title of my video, I am an extreme introvert. In fact, whenever I hear any of those introvert stereotypes, I kind of have to laugh because they always describe me so perfectly. I go out of my way to avoid parties and large social gatherings. I also need a lot of time by myself in order to just rest and recharge my batteries. And yes, I also greatly dislike small talk. And the reason I dislike small talk is that as an introvert, it just feels very awkward and very unnatural for me. And I always find myself wanting to go deeper with people, always craving a deeper and more meaningful conversation. And for a very long time, I was completely fine with that. I was fine with avoiding people, and in particular going to places where there were people I didn't know or people I didn't know well. But then things started to change a little bit after I returned to the Catholic Church. And after I returned to the church, I started thinking more seriously about certain commandments, and in particular, the commandments to love your neighbor as yourself and to always welcome the stranger who lives in your land. And I started to question myself, and I started to say, well, if I'm really going out of my way to avoid interacting with people, especially people that I don't know, well, then I guess I'm not really living the spirit of the law. And that really bothered me, actually. And so I decided I wanted to do better and to make an effort to welcome new people. But I knew that for me, that was going to be really hard, and that there was really no way I could handle that on my own. And so in my daily prayers, I started to say, "Teach me to love as Christ loves." At this point, I should say that I've always really admired people who had this gift of making other people feel welcome. And this really hits very close to home for me too, because as somebody who was always felt so very awkward and so out of place in social gatherings, if somebody came up to me and acknowledged me and seemed genuinely happy that I was there, that just made such a huge difference for me and made me feel included and accepted. And that really made a huge impact on me. But for so long, I told myself, well, I'm just not one of those people. I just don't have that gift. I don't know what to say. I'm too awkward. I can't make small talk. That's just not me. So the really interesting thing was that as I said the simple prayer, "Teach me to love as Christ loves," what was really interesting was that after saying that for quite a while, something hit me, and I realized you don't have to be good at small talk to make people feel welcome. A warm smile can make such a big difference. So can saying, "It's so great to meet you," and genuinely meaning it. And so can listening to people. When I came to this realization, that was really a huge game changer for me. And so I started to make a real effort to do those 3 simple things whenever I met new people. And while it felt a little awkward at first, as time went on, over a period of many, many months, I started to recognize a little bit of a change in myself. And the change was that I really did feel more of an openness to other people. I was less resistant to engage with new people, and I found that I was more open to learning about other people and to learning about their stories. Now, don't get me wrong, my introvert ways are still very much a part of me. I still don't go out of my way to socialize, and striking up conversation is still extremely difficult and very awkward for me. But one thing that I've learned now is that you don't have to be a great conversationalist in order to make people feel welcome and included. Just listening to them and being receptive to hearing their story is enough. You know, listening to people is something that's very underrated, I find, and yet it's so very powerful. And as introverts, listening is our superpower. It seems like nowadays people have forgotten how to listen to each other and to make each other feel heard. And that's why truly listening to another person is really such a great gift that you can give them. Maybe even more than we can ever know. So to all my fellow introverts out there, I really encourage you to use your strength and to listen to others and to be interested in them. And that is really one of the very best ways that you can welcome a stranger. If you're still watching this video, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much for listening to me and to what I have to say. I hope that you have a very blessed day.